For 23 long days, the bony, rotting shell of a once man stalks its next prey. Tall and mighty, it would have no issue running up to the man and ripping his heart out. Yet, it likes to play its little game, tiptoeing around its victim, letting it see glimpses of its fate, an odd footprint, shuffling. With every bit of uncertainty, the beast feels another 10 bits of excitement. Today was the day it sneaks into the apartment on its long legs, ending spiked legs akin to the point of a compass, silently stepping into the apartment behind the man before darting onto the bed in the room. And now, again, it waits, awaiting the moment its meal steps out of the bathroom and into its jagged teeth. It waits and waits. But nothing comes up of it besides a small thud it heard. There's no evidence of the person leaving. With an annoyed scowl, it stands tall. In a final attempt to scare them, it drills its jagged claws through the plywood of the door, tearing a wide hole, only to find its prey dead. In an instant, the beast feels immense fear. To its knowledge, it's at the top of the food chain, but to kill a man, a species thought to be second to none, what could possibly be stronger and faster than to take its fill before it? The creature looks around, deciding to scavenge whatever is left of the body, only to find it entirely uneaten. It pokes at the foam in their mouth, thinking that it's some kind of poison that was shoved down the throat. It doesn't smell like anything. After turning the body over and getting a good look, it notices the bottle in the body's hand. The grasp on the tiny pill bottle is tight, with no pills in sight. Don't humans usually eat these to feel better? The atrocity ponders. Such an abomination that looks devoid of emotion to any observer, being so perplexed probably would have looked comical. But it itself only felt embarrassed. Perhaps the assailant is still here. As enticing as it is, it's also a terrifying thought. It might be faster than it to kill a man, but it also must be fatter, more plump, and a better meal than any pathetic human. In a hurry, it searches through the barren place, trying to be as quiet as it flips the apartment upside down in an attempt to find the murderer. But nothing turns up. Finally, defeated, the beast walks back into the bathroom. Its eyes gaze on the body, believing that the foam is some sort of poison. It decides not to eat the human in fear. The only thing to catch its eye is their phone. It's never seen one. It pokes and prods at the foreign device until it turns on. It did, however, know some English, just enough to understand fingerprint not detected. Try holding longer. It presses the phone against the man's fingers, and it unlocks. It scrolls through the phone with a cat-like curiosity. This might become its new post-meal hobby. Now, absent-mindedly scrolling to the phone of its victim, the creature notices that something is off. On a particular social media site, it reads something about suicide. The addition of "side" must mean it's some murder or death. As clever as it is terrifying, it happens to know some Latin, enough to recognize the phrase. It has seen homicides, hell, even committed them, read about femicides on torn newspapers and in the dumpsters around town, but a suicide, that's new. Now, finding more personal things, it looks at the profile picture of the account. It matches the dead man's face. The corpse must be the owner of this account, which means it also is the one that wrote about the suicide. The creature feels angry at itself, as mighty as it is. The very thing it was hunting is more knowledgeable about a subject than it is. Still, entranced by what it has learned, its gaze remains undivided from the screen. It taps on buttons, tinkers with settings, when the flashy letters of Google's logo catches its attention. The colors blast like fireworks against the black screensaver. It clicks and observes the new layout it's been tossed into. It tries to read the prompts that have suddenly appeared. Painless ways to commit suicide, painkillers for sale, pharmacies near me, Google Maps. For lack of a better term, the creature is beyond confused. Painless, pharmacy. How does a pharmacy tie in with death? Was he ill and trying to find some pills to feel better? The creature is again caught in a storm of thoughts, whipping like ribbons in front of its eyes as it tries to piece together the tragedy. Is painkiller a name for medicine? But no, it can't be. Painkillers relieve pain, they don't cure, at least to the beast's knowledge. It taps on the top prompt, unbeknownst that it had searched how to commit suicide. Yet again, to its bewilderment, it's presented with videos that are talking about self-help and confidence. Why you shouldn't do this, suicide, that you'll hurt those who still care for you. But how? Don't humans murder animals for food? So do I. Should I feel guilt? No friends or family, it isn't sure. It surely wouldn't hurt anyone. That's just the cycle of life. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Kill or be killed. Right? It opens Google again, desperate for answers. From the prompts it gathers that these are questions, obviously, and the site was answering them. Wait. With timid movements and careful presses, it types, suicide. Suicide, derived from Latin suicidium, is the act of taking one's own life. Attempted suicide, or non-fatal suicidal behavior, amounts to self-injury with at least some desire to end one's life that does not result in death. It is left speechless, beyond that even, thoughtless and lobotomized. For man or any living being to take its own life was very new knowledge to it. Ironically, the answer only gave way to more questions. Why? To give up such a monumental evolutionary miracle and succumb to the void of death by their own choice. Why would anyone ever do this? Now it all makes sense. It was not a creature that got to the man. It was a monster far greater than that. An invisible beast wielding a powerful soup of fear and hatred with the power to shatter the strongest wills, to ruin and mutilate, to silently kill. The creature had never thought about death. All it ever does in life is an effort to avoid death. It drinks so it won't dehydrate, eats and fears starvation, fears heights and fire to avoid them. For someone to want to commit suicide, that'd mean they had lost all sense of their humanity, any sense of survival instinct or self-preservation, that they had given up all that made them be. The monster now realizes the rabbits it's mangled, birds it's yanked out of the air, the men and women, children and elderly, all that it's killed. They all want it to be. It has hurt others, it has torn families, it has caused tragedies far, far greater than the mighty abomination that is suicide. It is death, the reaper, the harbinger of sorrow and sulk. Yet, to imagine something willingly walking into its claws, look it in the eyes, and beg for it to pierce at their heart. It rests in the forest now and forever, unable to steal another baby bird from its nest, to flank another helpless human in fear that the bird will scream in agony, that the father of the taken child will wince at their funeral, that the bird will frown itself, that the father will follow in the footsteps of the man it saw. Ridden with guilt, it pierces a jagged stone deep into its chest, keeling over and resting in unease and pain, physical and mental. Now and forever, it is a relic.